So hello students. So in our last videos we have discussed a lot of things about recursion. So we saw how recursive functions can be created and how it actually executes in the memory. Now today we shall actually discuss what is the application of stack in recursion. So how a stack is useful in implementing a recursive program for the execution of recursive program. Okay, so as a programmer we don't have any we don't require any stack. As a programmer we just simply define a recursive program. Okay, but now when that program executes in the memory, a stack is used in order to execute that recursive function. Okay, so how it is conducted? Now listen, whenever a function is loaded in the memory for execution, so when a function is executing in the memory, some memory space needs to be allotted to the function. So why memory space is required allotted to the function? Okay, now what is the necessity? Now space allotted to store instruction. So at the time of execution, the instructions of the function must be loaded somewhere in the memory so that CPU the CPU can process the instructions and execute accordingly. Other than instruction space required for storing values of formal parameter. Now we know that function has parameters. Parameters means whenever a function is called from another function, from calling part some arguments are passed to the called function. Okay, suppose a main program has called a function known as fact to compute a factorial. The main program may pass some arguments which are values that the function should compute. Those arguments must be stored in a formal parameter. So in the function we create some formal parameter. Okay, for example, when we define a function int fact int x, okay, now we call this one as a formal parameter. So when and it will receive the actual arguments, and that actual argument will be stored in the formal parameter. So when that function will execute, there must be some memory space required so that in those memory space the formal parameter value can be stored. Okay, other than this, what for some other space are also required. Space required for storing local variables. So when a function executes, see, x is a formal parameter, but this function may have some local variables also. For example, in integer fact function, we may create a variable integer f equal to 1 here. Okay, so this is a local variable. So in order to store that local variable also some space is required. Then space required for storing return address. Okay, so return address means, suppose this is my function and the function is loaded in the memory when it has been called. Now this function has been called by somebody else. So after completion of this function, my program control should return back to the point from where the function has been called. Okay, so let me explain this. Suppose this is my main program which is loaded in the memory, and from main program the function f1 is called by passing value 3. and let's say these are the memory space, and this is my memory where function f1 instructions are loaded. Okay, and this is memory where data are there for function f1. So let's say this is x and this is for f. This is for this space is for containing parameter, and this space is for containing formal variable, local variable f. Now when the function executes, what happens after it terminates? Our CPU must know that if this function terminates, then from which point, from which part of the entire program the execution shall continue. So execution shall resume, because see, now suppose when we start our program, the main program is executing. First line executed, second line executed, third line executed, and then when this function has been made, my main program, the execution of my main program will halt temporarily because there are some other instruction here. But now from here it will jump to this location. So after executing this entire function f1, my program should return back to the main part, to this particular address. Okay, therefore this return address must be stored somewhere to execute a particular function. Okay, so for this, these are the spaces that required. Hence, so now my point is, so when a function loaded in memory for execution, function is loaded means the instructions are loaded in the memory for execution, then a special memory block is also created, also reserved or created, where this is the special memory block, where there are space for storing formal parameters, local variables, and return address. Okay, so every time a function is loaded in the memory, a separate memory block is also loaded in the memory for that function, in order to make available space for formal parameter of that function, local variable for that function, and return address of that function. Okay, now this memory block is destroyed the moment the execution of the function terminates. Okay, so we will say, now there is a name to this memory block. Okay, return address are kept. Okay, this memory block is known as activation record. This memory block, which keeps formal parameter, local variable, and return address. Okay, memory block which keeps formal parameter, local variable, and return address of a function is called procedure activation record. Okay, the block is loaded in the memory the moment the function start executing, and that block, that activation record, is destroyed from the memory the moment the function terminates its execution and returns to the caller. Okay, so the activation record is loaded in the memory when function execution begins and it is destroyed the moment function terminates and returns its result to the caller, results to the caller. Okay, now this is the basic idea. Now let us talk about recursion. Now we know that in a recursive, if a recursive program is executing, if a function is recursive, then it should keep calling itself until certain depth or until certain exit criteria is not matched. Okay, so I can show you the example of my last class where I have written here. See, this is a function int rfact, then written int n. Now if we assume the value of n that passed from the main program to be 3, then here the condition doesn't satisfy. This is my first call, so else part is executing. Okay, this example I have shown in my last video. So n into, then rfact is again called with n minus 1. So temporarily this function will stop executing and it will move to the call part to the second instance. So this is my second call where I have called the same function. Okay, now when the first call has been made, an activation record might be loaded for this to store n, to store f. Okay, similarly, when the second call is made, see, when the second call is made to the function rfact, the second call has also a variable parameter n and has also variable f, and these are different from the first call. So these are two different locations. So for the second call also another activation record is loaded in the memory. Okay, so there will be not two activation record. Okay, now which of the activation record is loaded in the memory first? The function which has been called first, this is the first call, its activation record is loaded in the memory first, then second call, then from here the third call has been made, and in the third call again another activation record is loaded. Activation record means the memory block which will keep the parameter n, local variable f and return address, from where it will go back. From third call again there will be a fourth call. So okay, so every time the depth of the call continue, a new activation record is loaded, keep loaded in the memory. Fine. Now tell me, when the recursive function executes, which of the call will terminate first? Definitely the call which has been at the deepest level. See, this one is the first call, from here we call this one second call, from second call we call third call, and from third call we have fourth call, and in the fourth call my exit criteria has been satisfied. Okay, what is exit criteria? We will, if you follow the last video you can understand. This is the exit criteria. Okay, so when exit criteria is satisfied, this function will terminate first. If this function will terminate first, its activation record will be removed first. Okay, now remember, now the fourth call has arrived late. Okay, because this is the call which is made at the last, so its activation record will be loaded in the memory last, but the function that has been called very late will terminate first, and hence its activation record will be destroyed from the memory last. Okay, sorry, from the memory first. Okay, because this is destroyed first, this is removed first, its activation record will also be removed first. So that means the activation record of a function which arrived in the memory last will have to destroy it first. Okay, so that is a LIFO order. So how this LIFO order can be maintained? With the help of a stack, because we know stack is a last in first out data structure where push and pop operation always conducted at the same end, which is top of the stack. Okay, so I hope you understood the application of stack in recursion. So now we can say for a recursive function, what happens? Every time the function call itself, a new activation record will be loaded in memory for each call. Okay. Now, in recursive call, okay, the function which executes last must terminate or return first, because when the recursive call, the function call itself again and again, every time you make a call, the argument that we pass inching closer to the exit criteria. So whenever at a certain depth, at a certain recursion depth, the parameter will matches with the exit criteria, and from that depth the function keep terminating and returning back. So whichever function has been executing or arrived in the memory last, that function will terminate first. And so the activation record of the corresponding function will also destroyed first. Okay, so see, the function which arrives late, which executes late, its activation record also comes to the memory late, but during destruction the function that arrives late will terminate first, so its activation record will also removed from the memory first. Hence it requires a LIFO. LIFO means last in first out structure to maintain activation records of a function. Okay, so therefore memory segment will behave like a stack. Okay, because in recursive function call the activation records that arrives late will remove first. Okay, so this is how recursive programs are executed with the help of a stack. Okay, so this is the application of stack for executing a recursive program. Okay, we can write a recursive program as a normal, but their execution in the memory will be conducted with the help of a stack. Okay, so I hope we understood it. Now this is what all about stack, guys. So from the very beginning I have discussed about stack, its operations and its applications. So in our next video we will see a different data structures that is known as queue. Till then, thank you.